Drew's husband was in a hot seat about him being MIA for 3 days or whatever. Do you believe what he said, what he did?
I mean, I made it very clear the thing. I know I didn't think it made any damn sense. Gonna be going back and forth with people, revisiting a whole bunch of uncomfortable conversations. Some of that stuff are things that you've already called yourself getting over, but as soon as you bring it back up, then you arguing about it again. You know what I mean? So it's like, I hate reunions. Hate reunions with a passion. So for me, it's always uncomfortable. This year, I didn't really have as much drama with, the ladies. So I guess it wasn't as bad for me coming into it. But like, normally I go into the reunion with my stomach in knots, not knowing if it's going to be a situation of, are we going to be ready to fucking cuss each other out?
Right. But you know what?
Are we already be ready to fight? Like, what is this about to be?
I'm going to be honest. I'm a little surprised that you've done so many of them that they still really bother you like that.
Yes. I don't like arguing with people. Like, that's not something I like to do.
Right.
That's not my favorite pastime is arguing. Like, I'm a very laid back person, and I really go from one extreme to the other. Like, I really go from like, yeah, to like just, yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just like no in between. And so I never know when I'm going to go, that switch is going to flip. You know what I mean? And I just hate that like nervous feeling. And I don't know, and I don't like knowing how people are going to come at me. And I don't like putting people on blast about stuff. And I hate when I feel like people are going to come at me crazy and feeling like I'm forced to put people on blast about certain things. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't like it.
I understand. Well, I mean, just as a viewer watching you, you do seem pretty even keel, but we have seen you like be here and then, propel somewhere else. So we've seen it in action. Okay. So let's talk about the reunion tonight. It was Kenya was really in the hot seat a lot. As was Portia a little bit, and Drew. I saw that Kenya and Portia kind of went back and forth about her activism, and Kenya kind of questioned some of her activism, and kind of had it back and forth about it. And you kind of stayed kind of mum about it. What's your stance on, I guess, Kenya's point of view in terms of Portia's activism?
That's the first time somebody even asked me that. Well, I mean, I would say the same thing I always say. To me, it doesn't really matter what her reason is for doing what she's doing.
Right.
I think the whole point is, Kenya has questioned her motives for doing the things that she's been doing, whatever. But I always say it doesn't really necessarily matter what the motive is. It's really the result is that it motivates people to rise up and it inspires people. So I don't really think it matters what the motivation was, or whatever.
Okay, gotcha. I was laughing towards the end of the episode. Drew's husband was in a hot seat about him being MIA for 3 days or whatever. Do you believe what he said, what he did?
I mean, I made it very clear the thing. I know I didn't think it made any like to me, and and that's even if it was my husband telling me that. Like, first of all, she didn't even know. Even when he came back, he didn't even tell her he was in Tampa. She didn't know where he had been. Like, she just knew he was on for 3 days. Like, to me, it shouldn't have taken all of this for him to tell her where he had been. You know what I mean? And it's just like to say, oh, I was just going to the beach. Like, you passed other beaches. Like, you just drove. Like, what shit? Well, what happened to Destin? Where about Jacksonville? Like, I mean, how you come to Tampa? So I was just like, this story isn't adding up to me. And honestly, it was like, I did ask more questions. It's so funny. Like when I watch the stuff back, like they edit so many things out. Like I was asking them, like, so you ain't never had nobody you used to work with that live in Tampa. You ain't got no friends that live in Tampa. Nobody you know live in Tampa. You just up and just landed in Tampa. Like it just didn't make sense to me. I don't know. It wasn't the flu for me, but what I will say is I love them together as a couple. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, she needs to break up with him or anything like that. But I'm just saying it ain't make no sense.
Right, I got it. And the thing is, one of the things about you is you kind of do wear your what you're thinking on your face.
Expressions. I be making facial expressions and I don't even know that I'm doing it. So even when I'm watching the show back, I was like, oh God, why was I doing that? Like I don't even know that half the time I didn't even realize that I did make those faces.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. Let me ask you this, because we just talked about Drew and her husband, and then you're really good friends with Kenya, and Kenya has issues in her marriage. At what point, you're a woman, you're grown, you're married, you have friends that are in relationships and are married. When do you, as a friend, when do you say to them, like, I think you should leave? Because you said you were pretty vocal with Kenya saying, look, I think, when do you make that choice as a friend to say, look, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like you should go?
I feel like she should move on. Well, because I just feel like the effort wasn't the same in wanting to mend the relationship. Like, first of all, I've spent time with her and Mark outside of what y'all seen on the show. So I have time with Mark, and I do like Mark. I think he's a cool guy, but I just feel like in their relationship, he hasn't been the best as far as giving her the affection or the love that she needs in return. And
Right.
King is totally different in her relationships than she is with us as a group. Like the way she is with the girls is not how she is in her relationship. And I just felt like, she was holding out for a long time, hoping that he would put in effort to try to like work things out or whatever. And I just didn't feel like it was being reciprocated. And I'm just like, okay, well, how long are you going to wait? And I get it. She wants the ideal marriage and family and all of that. But sometimes it just doesn't come the way that you imagined it to be, you know? And, you just gotta be happy.
Move on. Okay, got it. I know that you're also friends with LaToya, and when you guys were filming, I saw that I think you went on a double date with her and her husband at the time. You and Todd and her husband at the time, and now they're not together. Mm-hmm. Were you guys? I know you said you were friends with LaToya. Were you guys like you were friends with her husband too? Were you like a double date kind of crew, or?
No, I had met LaToya through Ming Lee when LaToya came to Atlanta. Ming had introduced me to her, so we had hung out or whatever, and so that's how I became cool with LaToya. And so they got kids similar ages of Ace, and so they had came to like Ace's birthday parties and stuff like that. So we was cool, but then I had introduced them to the casting people for Housewives the year prior before their relationship fell apart. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, it didn't work out. And so the following year they came back around to talk to them, but then they started having issues in their marriage and he didn't want to be a part of the show no more.
Right.
So, we had all went out, so that, we could talk about it and maybe, he can have, ask, talk to Todd and maybe from a male's point of view, see, how he would feel or whatever, right, dealing with the situation. But clearly he still wasn't feeling it. But him and Todd are friends. They still cool and still hang out.
I see on Instagram.
Yeah, they still cool. So, it is what it is. I mean, I hate that relationship didn't work out because I think he is a really cool dude. He's a really good guy. And I hate that they having the issues that they having, but
Do you think, we didn't really get to see him on the show, so I don't even know if this is a fair question, but you know how they always say, once you bring your relationship on TV, it kind of gets cursed sometimes.
Well, they started having problems before she even got on the show, so.
Okay. So that ain't it. All right. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. But you did talk to her about their issues on your Speak On It. Mm-hmm. Were you surprised at all at the time what was what, you know, what you read and stuff like that?
Well, she had already been telling me about what was going on in the relationship, and she actually had been talking about it all throughout the taping because, like I said before, they were actually looking at her as potentially being a possible housewife, but because you know, he wouldn't sign off on the kids being on the show and stuff like that, they end up not allowing her to be a housewife. So you never got any of her personal story.
Right.
You know, she's a sharer. Okay. She will tell you all her business. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, I knew pretty much everything that was going on in their situation from her point of view.
Okay.
And
got it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Switching gears here. I recently read, I think it's like last week, that you said that you are not sure where you and Portia stand. And I guess where your relationship or your friendship stands. And I'm assuming that comes from the live that she did where she admitted that she asked for an episode to be removed from the show. She did it live. So I'm guessing that's where that may have came from. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but is it from that, or was it another issue that we didn't get to see, or?
Well, it's like different things would happen. It's like every time something happens, like I don't really be knowing what's gonna go on. So like, say for instance, you know, everything will be cool. And then like the episode that aired when I said, I guess when I said to Don Juan, well, I wouldn't say that King is lying. Right after that, she opted out of the group text that all of the housewives were on. So I was like, oh, I guess she ain't talking to us no more.
Right.
So at that point, I hadn't talked to her at all up until we got to the reunion. But she seemed cool at the reunion. So I was like, okay, I guess we don't have an issue or whatever. And then, you know, it was the article in the magazine that talked about the scene that was deleted or whatever. And then she did the speak on it that wasn't on speak on it. I was like, why you gotta do a speak on it but won't come on speak on it? I understand.
Right.
But yeah, I that was interesting because which I did speak about that on the speak on it that I had to do a two-part speak on it because I never really addressed what she said in her speak on it on her live, because actually when she did that, I was last week I was in Chicago. I had to do a big scene that I was filming for The Chi, and our movie was releasing for Envy, so I didn't want me speaking about what she had said on her live to become bigger than me promoting the movie that I had coming out last week. So that's why I didn't really too much talk about what she had said. Clearly she, you know, I didn't know where we stood after she did her live. I didn't know. I was just like, I don't know.
Do you know where you guys stand now?
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I guess we okay. I mean, like she definitely showed love and posted about the movie that, you know, I was in last week or whatever. And when I finally did get to see her live, it wasn't like she said anything too crazy about me or whatever. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
No, well, I
like, we are always in a weird space, and we will forever be, because, you know, the things that have happened with us has gone so far. I don't know if it's ever going to be like, oh, we besties, you know what I'm saying? But we are part of a show that will always keep us tied. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's talk about Bolo. Did you realize that this bachelorette party would be like such a huge storyline this season? Did you have any idea that?
No.
Okay.
Going into it, I was just trying to make sure it was a lit party, because here's the thing. You know, the whole situation with the dungeon situation, you know, it came from a negative situation in the past, but from that, you know, I made the dungeon tour, and it has gone on to become its own thing, and it's fun. But when Kenya put me in charge of doing the party for Cynthia, I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna be in charge of the party, I'm gonna make sure that thing is lit. Okay,
Yeah.
it's gonna be lit. And anytime I throw a party, people gonna know they need to be there. You know, so that was all I was concerned with, making sure that it was fun and that people know next time I bring the dungeon tour out, you need to be there. And that was it. That's all I was concerned about going into it. So clearly, you know, when the party happened, you know, everybody was having fun, you know, and then, you know, the producers left and everybody still wanted to have fun or whatever. You know, I didn't know I didn't know it was gonna be super fun. Shit, I didn't know. But hey, and then I definitely didn't know that it was going to be discussed the next day.
Okay.
I mean, clearly, you know, we talk amongst ourselves off camera, but
Right.
I didn't know it was going to be discussed on camera the next day.
Okay.
Not the after party part.
Right. The after party part. Well, you know what I found interesting? I feel like you do a good kind of job of like not being involved. Cause I'm like, where's Kandi? Like I really didn't, you weren't really in the mess. You know what I'm saying? And for people to look at Kandi like the Kandi's is freak, she's open about her sexuality. This is her party. I'm like, where is Kandi? Like, you stay out of it.
Well, okay, so it was a catch-22 situation, right? Okay, so you know, on the one hand, okay, here it is. I'm a person who owns my sexuality. You know, it's clear. I do not give a damn what nobody thinks, you know, about what I do sexually or how I feel or what I like or what I dislike or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am. I've always been that way. You know, this is who I am. Okay. And then obviously I have a sex toy line. So clearly I promote sex positivity.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, you do.
So with that being said, I just felt like it, and on top of that, I'm the one who brought Bolo to the South Carolina. So I just didn't think it would make sense if I'm telling people to have fun and live your best life for me to crucify them. You know? So regardless of whatever our past has been or whatever, it just didn't make sense in my mind for me to be the one to be trying to crucify somebody for whatever their decisions are. So that's just how I was looking at it. And regardless of, you know, people were like, it was like I was stuck in this weird situation. It was like on one side, you know, it's like people who are Portia fans will be like, oh, you know, you don't, you know, you know, not having Portia's back or whatever. And then it would be like people who Kenya's fans are like, oh, you're Kenya's friend, you're not having Kenya's back. And it's just like, well, Kenya is my friend and I love her dearly, you know, but it's just like a weird situation to be in, you know?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, and I want to ask you about Kenya in terms of the situation, but where is Tanya? Like, was she like just disappeared? Like, have you spoke to her? Have you seen her?
Dang on, her relationship is intact. She's like, I ain't got time to be messing with y'all, and y'all mess my dang on life up. She's like, I gotta go tend to my fiance. Let me get that right. Yeah, we never saw her after South Carolina. That was a wrap. After
she just disappeared.
We did not see her.
Have you spoken to her since? I'm sorry. Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm sorry. I went on pause. I'm sorry.
Okay. Have you spoken to Tanya since I know you guys didn't film with her, but have you spoken to her since?
No, I have not. It was one time she hit me. I guess she's filming a project and that she's working with entrepreneurs or something, and she had stopped by one of my store or something like that, and she just hit me in the DM, was like, hey, I stopped by your store today, and that was it. Other than that,
we staying out of the way.
Yeah, she ain't talking to me.
Okay. Let's talk about Kenya and the Bolo situation. I think Andy Cohen called her a dick detective tonight. I think, or
A dick detective,
or something like that. She was very vocal about accusing Portia of hooking up with Bolo, and she really wanted Portia to admit what she allegedly did. Why do you think that was such a big issue for Kenya with this Portia and Bolo thing?
Oh, well, I mean, it was clear that the reason why, well, first of all, she just felt like if it had been her, that everybody would have crucified her.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, she felt like that was the main thing. She was like, if it had been her, they would have roasted her, you
Okay.
know? And truth be told, they would have,
Okay.
and like stop playing. Like, and then on top of that, she feels like, we're in the house as our job. Like, this is our job.
Yeah.
And if we don't talk about what's happening in the house, then you don't have a show.
Right.
So in her mind, it's like she's doing her job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a sense, I understand it from that perspective, because it's like, okay, well, realistically, if she didn't talk about it, then what would we have been talking about for the most part?
Right. Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, the uncomfortable conversations are what make the show the show. Like, none of us want to have uncomfortable conversations. We don't want to have uncomfortable conversations about nothing, about our relationships, about our kids, about nothing.
Right.
Like, anything that make us look bad, everybody. It wasn't even just Kenya, and you'll see it. Even Marlo was starting trying to, like, I guess when Marlo started having her issues, into a situation where it's like they wanted to force me to talk about it. And my thing is like, talk about what y'all know. Why y'all keep trying to force me to talk about it? Like, they clearly said they said on the TV that they heard something. Talk about what you heard. Why you keep trying to force me? Like, leave me alone.
Yeah, you were clear in like trying to stay out of it. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about Toya and Drew. How do you feel they did in terms of like adjusting with the cast, just as being newbies, basically?
Oh my God, I thought they did a great job as newbies. I mean, y'all got to think, a lot of times when new people come on the show, it's hard for them to just jump right in and start, having conversations or, going back and forth. A lot of people are intimidated. Some people, hold back or whatever. Those girls did not hold back. Right up from day one, they were just like acting like they've been there, So I love them both for that. I felt like Drew, I loved because she shared a lot of her personal life, and that's not easy to do. Everything from the stuff that was going on in her marriage and the stuff that was happening with her kid's father. Yeah. I commend her for that, because that's not easy, what I mean? And so I love that. And LaToya, man, she was reading every day. Every day she was reading somebody on that show. And I don't know, people were saying they didn't like her or whatever, but she trended every Sunday night.
She did, yeah.
LaToya trended every Sunday night. And some people was like, oh, she was trying to. No, that is LaToya's real personality. She really acts like that in real life. That's just her, you know what I mean? And I know some people don't like it, but I actually feel like on a show like this, you have to have those type of extreme personalities, because you have some people who are just real laid back, like myself, or you're going to have people that are really nice and sweet, like a Cynthia, but then you have your people like a Kenya that, people will say is the villain, or, which is LaToya, I mean? You're going to have those extremes, and it just is what it is. You can't everybody can't be the same. It's not going to work. You got to have different, people for the show to be what it is.
Yeah, I will say when I was watching Latoya, I wasn't familiar with her. I know she's big on YouTube. I wasn't familiar with her, but I was just like, is she serious? Does she really act like this? But I realized that's really her personality. She really is. She came in really hot. Do you ever feel like she went too far in any situations or any scenes during the season?
Oh, let me see. Oh, she cut a lot out of that scene at Fallon's house. She was going in on Fallon and her relationship with her husband outside. She was just going just really disrespectful. It's just disrespectful. Obviously, you know, Fallon was out there trying to fight her. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Okay. Who were you? I feel like I already know this, but with the whole Drew versus Latoya, whose side did you kind of take more towards? I know you're friends with Latoya, so I'm assuming it's Latoya.
Well, no. In the beginning, I felt like Latoya was, you know, going a little too hard on Drew for no reason, but then it started flipping because I felt like Drew was like, come on now, Drew. The whole thing with the profit, it was just like, now you tripping. Like,
okay,
this ain't even your business. Like, why do you care what this man is doing? And why do you care if, you know, it was doing the most for me with the profit.
Okay.
So it flipped for me. It flipped.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Would you like to see more of Fallon? Or
I definitely would like to see more of Fallon. I really like Fallon, and it's so funny. I think people would like to see more of Fallon too, apparently, because all I can do is go by what I see on my Speak On It. So, you know, I had Fallon on Speak On It, and she had like the highest rated Speak On It up until recently when Latoya was on there. Like, people sat and watched more minutes of her Speak On It than pretty much any other housewife. And I was like, I don't know if it's because they didn't get to know a lot about her during the show and maybe they just wanted to know more about her or what, but Fallon, she just seems just like a cool chick to me. I don't know. I don't know. I liked her.
yeah.
And then, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot going on in her life, obviously, right now. So I would be curious to know what is happening. I mean, I was like, damn, but everything going on with her, everything's going on with Latoya. I was like, where are the cameras when you need them? Like, it's a lot happening in both of their lives right now, actually. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, I didn't really, as a viewer, I didn't get to see much of her. So I was just curious to learn more about her, see who she really is. And she's a
girl too.
Yeah, she's pretty, she's got this husband that's a little older than her. She has 3 kids. It's just like, it seemed like it's an interesting story. So I was kind of,
same Taurus.
yeah. And so I guess, were you familiar? Had you ever hung out with her and her husband, or you had only just hung out with Fallon? Or
no, I didn't really know them prior to show. I mean, I guess I had seen her husband around, but I didn't know him. You know what I mean? And I did not know her, so I had met them through the show.
Okay, gotcha. So let's switch gears and talk about like Housewives, the Real Housewives of Atlanta overall. You've been on the show since the 2nd season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second season. You've done 12 reunions. You're probably one of the last. Are you one of the last original? I mean, I guess been on the show the longest.
No, because I wasn't here on season 1. So.
I know, but no one from season 1 is on the show anymore.
Okay, well, I'm the only person from season 2. If that's what you.
What I saw recently that you said every year you think about leaving the show. But what makes you come back every year?
I don't know. You just contemplate, like, I don't know, when is your time? What you know what I'm saying? You just don't know. I don't know. It's not like a definite answer. You know what I mean? It's like, I enjoy being a part of the show, but it is stressful at times. It is a lot going on, But I do love the fans. I love, the support of the fans or whatever. But, I don't know. It's not like I'm saying, and I don't want people to get the feeling like I was saying I was leaving and nothing, but they asked me, does it ever cross my mind? And I'm like, yeah, it crosses my mind all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you wish viewers saw more of from you, I guess?
I mean, I guess, of course, if you could see more of me with my family, or it's a lot of me and my other friends outside of
Right.
it. A lot of my other friends outside the show got their own shows. So we can't even be on each other's shows. So that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, probably that, more with my family and, the stuff that goes on.
You there?
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
there,
here.
Kandi? Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What's been the biggest change you've seen on the show since it started?
Biggest change on the show since it started? The cast?
I mean, outside of the cast.
That would be the biggest change, obviously.
Okay.
That would be the biggest. The way the show is probably produced. I remember the first year I was on here, they used to do on the fly interviews, meaning, as soon as the scene would happen, we would be outside saying our opinion instead of just doing the interviews in the room. I don't know if we even remember that, Let me see. The style of the women. Everybody's all extra. Everybody all extra fancy now. Everybody got all this extra money now. They wasn't doing all that before. You know what I mean? So I mean, I guess that would be it. And then I feel like people produce themselves more now, meaning they care more about their image now. Whereas in the beginning, when you first get on the show, they don't really think about all that. So they're just living. They're just doing whatever, you know what I mean? But then as they realize, oh, I have a brand to uphold, then it's like they're doing things for the sake of the fans, or doing things because they know the fans will like this, or they know that, oh, okay, this works with my brand. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's things that you guys may not see or know, but we know it because behind the scenes, we know how it works. We know how the game is played. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and I think stuff like that changes the way the outcome of what you end up, the way the show turns out. Because if everybody's trying to, protect their brand, protect their image, protect this, then it's like, nobody's ever going to allow you to be able to see anything. I mean, even like, we even saw more relationships back in the day.
Yeah.
Now, it's like we only got to see one house husband on this reunion.
Yeah.
Before, we had a whole crew. We had Todd, Apollo, Peter. You know what I'm saying?
I noticed that, but I thought maybe that was because of COVID.
I mean, I would definitely say that COVID did mess up a lot, for sure.
Right.
It definitely messed up a lot this year. Like, we didn't have as many big events, like normally we have multiple events throughout the year, we didn't do that, or, just didn't because of all the extra that you have to go through to make it happen, we didn't even have all cast. You realize we did not have all the housewives together until we got to South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, a lot of people, was going in on us talking about, oh, y'all stuff started off slow, but because of everything that went on behind the scenes, because of shutting down for COVID and this and that, we did not get, all 5 housewives did not have a scene together at the same time until we got to South Carolina. But once we got all of us together, did you realize everything started picking up with all the stories and everything interacting with each other?
Yeah.
So, like, give us some slack, y'all. Give us a break. Because it wasn't until episode, I guess, was that 6 or 7 that you got to put it all together at the same time.
That's kind of late, though. I mean, it's not your fault,
It's
but
late.
I mean,
it's super late, because normally we used to, by the first episode, have an all cast event at the end.
Right.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
So it's just,
it was different. Let's talk casting. The cast doesn't have much to say in terms of who comes on the show, or do they? Do you guys have any influence on who?
We don't have influence, but we can suggest.
Okay, you can suggest. In terms of new additions, and we kind of talked about this already, who do you think deserves to come back?
Come back? What?
Yeah. like Drew and Latoya.
I feel like I feel like all of us should. I mean, me personally, it's only 5 of us, so I feel like you should just bring everybody back and add 2 more people.
Bring everybody and add 2 new people. Oh, wow. Okay.
I feel like it would be great to have 7.
What type of, and just in terms of new cast, what type of personalities would you like? Like, what do you think would be a good fit? Because I think we had heard like they were looking for comedians or something. I mean, what kind of personality you think would be a good addition to the cast, the crew?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm saving my opinions.
Okay, all right. Now I have to ask you this because there have been rumors, and I don't know if there's any truth to it, that Phaedra may come back.
About that. Don't ask me about that.
Okay.
Question.
What about outside of her, would there be any old housewives that you would like to come back on the show?
I guess Sheree.
Okay.
I heard that she was that her boyfriend, the guy that she was dating, got out.
Tyrone or
yeah. I mean, I think that would be interesting to meet him.
Okay. I think we broke the story about there being a Housewives All-Star, etc.
Backpedal. I ain't backpedaling on that.
Oh my gosh. Get out the comments, Kandi.
Go ahead.
I asked, she moved on. We're fine. We did a story on the All-Star kind of show that is happening, or like the special where the different housewives from different, shows are coming and they taking a trip and all that kind of stuff. Were you asked to participate in that?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I've been shy, so I wouldn't be able to.
Oh, that's right. You are. Yeah, you acting going on. Before I let you go, I want to talk about business. We know you from reality TV, but I'm sorry.
You were breaking up.
Oh, okay. I said I wanted to talk to you about business. I love your business sense. I've interviewed you for my book about business. You're in the restaurant business. You have the sex toy line. You do music. Is there anything that I'm forgetting?
Like you said, the restaurant,
mm-hmm.
the bedroom candy,
mm-hmm.
Tags, clothing store.
I forgot about that. Mm-hmm.
Andy Coda Cosmetics. Just music stuff, real estate stuff. I hope I'm not forgetting nothing.
What do you look for when you're contemplating venture into a new business?
Just stuff that I feel like as a woman, things that I naturally would want to use or do, or that stand out to me, and things that I feel like we need.
Okay.
And obviously things that are just easy for me. that I would like doing even if I wasn't necessarily getting paid for. So like, music is something I do even if I wouldn't get paid to do. Like that's fun for me.
Right.
Fun for me. Stuff like that.
Okay. When I was thinking about the different housewives, and I was just trying to think of different housewives that do have different like business ventures or entrepreneurs. Obviously you came to mind. Bethany, she's not on Housewives anymore, but I was trying to think of women that really do a lot in terms of business. Why do you think, and you probably can't even answer this question, but why do you think housewives don't do more on the business front outside of the show?
What do you mean?
Because I feel like a lot of the housewives don't really have it doesn't seem like it's not fair to compare. Honestly, it's not fair to compare them to the business you do and how, but it doesn't seem like a lot of the housewives do have a lot of business ventures or do like are entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, what is it, because it's hard for women to work in business, or maybe the show takes up so much of their time? Or
are you saying doing business together, or
no, not together? I'm just saying doing their own business ventures.
I think that's just them. I mean, I do plenty of business ventures, so I think that's just them not getting stuff done.
Right.
I think that has nothing to do with them not having time. I mean, you have a platform, you need to make the best of it in the best of your time. Like, I hate people that sit around and talk about everything that they want to do on TV and you never see it come to life. That me, honestly. Honestly, it annoys me. So I would just say, yeah, it's them.
Yeah, got it. Okay. All right.
Because either they don't want to do it or they got to step their game up.
Gotcha. Can we talk about Speak On It for a second? Would you like to see Speak On It get picked up by a network, or you want to keep it on YouTube?
I like it on YouTube, to be honest with you. I don't really know how it would be the same on a network, to be honest with you. It really works on YouTube because I can say whatever I want to say. We can use clips, and all that stuff. So I think it's great on YouTube. Okay.
Who's been your most challenging guest thus far?
Challenging?
Mm-hmm. Like to get on. Or even once you had them on, you're like, oh my gosh, like it's hard. It's like pulling teeth,
I don't think anybody's been challenging. I mean, a lot of people, the one thing that I do want to say to people, it's like, I get people to always be like, oh, why you don't ask Portia to come on? Or why you don't ask, last year everybody used to be, why you don't ask Nene to come on? Why you don't ask Marlo to come on? I have given all of them invites to come on. They didn't choose to come on. Marlo has recently told me that she wants to come on. So now she will be coming on soon. But like, all of them have an open invitation to come on. I've already asked all of them, and they, for whatever reason, chose not to come on or whatever. But they have an open invitation to come on whenever they feel like,
Okay.
It's not based off of, who I'm friends with or any of that. No, it's like, I know that, really it's a lot of times I like base it off of like, who's that episode, really dealing with the most. So I try to reach out to, whatever, if they have an opinion or whatever the fans say they want to, I'll just be like, but if they choose not to do it, I'm not going to keep asking. I just ask them if they say yes or no. It's like, okay, and we work it out. And if you say no, just know that you have an open invitation to pick it up anytime you want to.
Okay. Who would you really want to get on the show? Like, who would be like one of your dream guests?
I just saw somebody say, are you paying them? No, sweetheart, I'm not paying them. But pretty much any of these interviews we do, ain't nobody paying. Jasmine Brand, I love you, but you're not paying to do this right now.
I am not. I couldn't afford you, first of all.
No offense, but it's like people put that out there. You got to pay. No, when people do press or do things to promote, we promote their businesses. We put the links up for all their stuff. Like that in turn is a way to show love to whatever they have going on, promotes them, and they make money off of it. Other than that, no, it's no.
But people don't know, Kandi. People don't know. They don't know. Like they might think, I don't know. It probably was a valid question. Okay, who would you really like to get on Speak on It?
I would love all the girls to be on Speak on It. Like, I would love for Phaedra to, I mean, not Phaedra. I would love for Portia to come on Speak on It.
My God, can we move on, please?
Yeah, I would love for Marlo is coming. Who else hasn't done it yet?
Nene.
Yeah, I would like for Nene to come back and do Speak on It if she wants to. I would love her to come on. You know, for me at this point, it's like I decided that I'm gonna start making Speak on It more than just housewives. Like, I'm gonna start doing it about other stuff too. So yeah, it's like at this point, I would like to do Speak on It with all kind of people, you know. But if you just about our show, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Escape. I'm almost done with you. I want to talk to you about Escape.
We talk. I'm like that.
I'm done after this. After Escape, I'm done. Okay. I know you guys are gearing up for this battle with SWV. Can you tell me how you guys are preparing?
Well, we had to get together, obviously, to put together our song list, which ones we want to play in the battle, you know, all that type of stuff. That right there, going back and forth of which songs we gonna put in. That meeting was hilarious. We should have recorded that. But yeah, and then you know, to discuss you know, I don't want to give away nothing.
Okay, all right. One last question about Escape. Where are we with the biopic? Is that still happening? Maybe.
Possibly. We still been dealing with the writer and all this other kind of stuff. So yeah.
Okay, so I am officially done. Is there anything I asked you? I know I asked you everything. Is there anything you didn't get to touch on? That
I think we touched on every damn thing, like, for real. Okay, well, let me just say this. Good things that's happening. My son is in a movie that's coming out on May 6th. It's a movie called Favorite Son. It's coming out on BET Plus, so please check it out. Ace Tucker, he's in that movie. Then Versus SWV and Escape is going to be on May 8th, so please see that. The Shy season 4 is going to be so good. It's coming back on May 23rd. I am going to be doing something with like a viral dungeon party soon. So
okay,
follow me and turn your post notifications on my page, so you'll know when I post that up, because it's gonna be lit. And then also you know, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm almost at 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I need you to go on and do that. Tonight I am definitely doing a double Speak on It, because I'm doing a Speak on It about the reunion episode. It was a lot of things that I felt that they cut out of the episode that I felt like I had to, you know, I love giving y'all some background tea that they did not share. So I'm giving y'all some little extra tea about the episode. But then also, I definitely had to like speak on, I guess, Portia Speak on It. And just kind of like, you know, I guess, you know, give my view of some of the stuff that was on there. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kandi. I apologize for taking up so much time. I appreciate you always supporting us. Whenever I ask for anything, you always say yes. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and if you guys did not get a chance to check the movie out
the Lifetime movie?
Lifetime. It's called Envy. So, yeah, go catch it on demand on Lifetime. Thanks.
Okay.
And you know what, y'all? I do appreciate all the support and love, and the ones who don't show love, I appreciate y'all too, for real. Oh, I saw somebody talking about lipstick. This is from Candy Coated Cosmetics, by the way.
Of course it is. All right. Well, thank you, Kandi. You need to get a stand for next time, okay?
I know, right? I gotta get a new stand. I feel crazy holding my arm up.
Yeah, I know. I need, like, girl, hurry up. But okay, thank you so much, Kandi. Have a good night, and we got to do this again soon.
All right, thanks. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.